This Cybertruck, Ivan, is amazing.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we're going to be going over the Cybertruck, the various myths that surround cleaning and protecting this stainless steel.
Absolutely stunning vehicle. From the tonneau cover, we've had a chance to take a look at the ins and outs of the Cybertruck. It's still got a little bit of steak as of the filming of this video.
Right.
And the frunk?
The frunk, the suspension that goes up and down actually very quickly at the touch of a button. Lots of really great features. This is the first vehicle ever to have a 48-volt architecture instead of 12-volt that we're used to. So a lot of new things going on with this. But one thing that is new but old at the same time is the stainless steel.
And people don't love this. Fingerprints. Huge issue on the Cybertruck.
Yeah, fingerprints are a big issue on the Cybertruck, and keeping it clean. And there's a lot of myths going around the internet and a lot of solutions that, well, we wanted to address.
We're going to show you how to wash, how to decontaminate,
right?
How to protect with a ceramic coating, and we're going to address some of those questions you have about this entire process.
Right, and you know, I mentioned stainless is old or new and old. Well, I remember the days of the DeLorean. I detailed DeLoreans, and they were raw stainless steel as well. So there's a lot of things going on here, and there's a lot of things on the internet that we want to dispel those myths. We want to make your Cybertruck ownership, or if you're a professional detailer and you have a customer coming in with a Cybertruck, you want to be able to speak confidently about what you're about to do to their truck.
Ivan, the owner of this vehicle, said he didn't feel confident putting clear bra or paint protection film on. And it's not him, it's that his guy didn't necessarily feel comfortable with it.
Right, a person that's used to installing paint protection film did not want to install paint protection film on this truck. It's all flat panels. There's no compound curves. It's super easy to do. So if you're a detailer, don't be afraid. Yes, it's raw stainless steel. Make sure that it's perfectly clean underneath the clear bra, because what he was really concerned about is these fingerprints. And if there were to be a fingerprint under the paint protection film, it's locked in. So the installer, the PPF installer, actually suggested he get a fake stainless steel wrap on top instead of the paint protection film.
There just seems to be a lot of misinformation, a lot of fear around the Cybertruck.
Right.
And Ivan, you've read all the forums. Before we get to the wash process, anything else you want to just say to people out there to help them? Because if we can give them good information, that's what they're looking for.
Right. Watch this video, follow along. There's going to be other videos with this Cybertruck as well. This is actually the first one delivered in all of Nebraska. So, you know, we're very privileged to have it here, and we'd like to thank the owner. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of things being talked about the Cybertruck, that it can't do this, or it can't do that, or it can do this. It's a really great vehicle. It's a lot of fun. The engineering in this thing is spectacular. They've done a lot of things, and we want to amp up that engineering. We want to make it even better. So through a couple series of videos, we're going to be washing it. We're going to be decontaminating. Yes, you can decontaminate stainless steel. And we're also going to be protecting the interior on this vehicle.
So where do we start?
Well, start by washing it.
Okay, first, Ivan, the question is this. What is the Cybertruck made out of, and what should we know about it?
It's stainless steel, and there's a few common detailing practices that should never happen on a Cybertruck, and that is polishing. If you start polishing on this, it's going to get shiny and shinier and shinier, and then you're going to have problems because you're not going to be able to make it even with polishing. Now, if you want to go all out and you're a metal polisher, yeah, you can finish this thing to a mirror if you want to. That's going to take a lot of work. They've finished the stainless steel with a DA and what looks to be roughly about 400 grit sandpaper.
So a dual action sander?
A dual action sander, that's how they finished it. Now, to replicate this finish would be very difficult unless knowing exactly what paper they used, what machine, what speed, what pressure, all of that.
Is that information out there anywhere?
It might be.
Okay.
Who knows?
But what we're saying is, you don't want to polish this surface.
This is being recorded in March of 2024. If you're seeing this in 2026 and all this is known, great. Now, I mentioned I used to work on DeLoreans. DeLoreans, instead of having a pattern made with a random orbital sander, they used graining, which means it was in straight lines. So it's very easy to regrain a DeLorean. So if you screwed something up on a DeLorean, you grabbed a Scotch-Brite pad, you put about 5 pounds of pressure with a sanding block, and you went in straight lines front to back, and you could make that DeLorean brand spanking new.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, on this, not so easy because of that random pattern. One of the major complaints that everyone has about the Cybertruck, the people that actually own them, is this: the fingerprints. And the other complaint that people are getting is rust spots, and they think that their stainless is rusting. Completely wrong. In delivery, in driving, you're driving on the road with your Cybertruck, you may not use the brakes because it has great regenerative braking, but the people around you are still using their brakes, and that gets on the side of your Cybertruck and it creates little rust spots, and people get freaked out that my stainless steel is rusting. No, it's the same thing that happens to every vehicle. It's just on this, you see it a lot more. And to do that, to counter that, we're gonna be using iron remover. And again, lots of myths about the Cybertruck. If you use iron remover on it, it's gonna stain it permanently. No, it's not gonna stain it. The iron remover will remove the oxidized metal, the rust. It's not going to do anything to the stainless other than actually clean it.
Why don't we show them what we're talking about?
Yeah, so we're actually just going to do this door to start off to give you the whole process quickly, easily, easy to follow. The first thing, rinse this wash. Rinse this wash is great on the Cybertruck. Does a fabulous job. And already those fingerprints are gone. You can get a drying towel for me, Nick? Thank you, sir. So as I said, those fingerprints that were here are now gone. It's not an issue. So now we have a clean surface. It's dried off, but that's actually not the whole process. Now you still see a bit of ghosting of these fingerprints, and that we need to address with a little more aggression. And that little more aggression is putting more rinseless wash, and then iron remover with the PSD towel. Yes, we're using a decontamination towel on this. If you're using a clay bar, the texture in the stainless steel is actually going to break the clay bar apart. But with our PSD towel, not a problem. And I'm going to spray one spray of iron remover, one on the towel where they are, we meet them up. And yes, you can actually feel the contamination on the surface. Because just like every other vehicle on the road, this can get contaminated. Now the iron remover does a great job of breaking down those residual little oils that are found within the stainless steel.
Now what do I have here, Ivan?
You've got our keg, and in the keg, well, it's actually a stainless steel keg, what do you know? But stainless steel keg, stainless steel car, rinseless wash diluted 256:1. We're gonna use that instead of the hose to rinse this off. Now, people are saying, oh, you can't use a hose on these. Yes, you can. They're actually designed to ford through water about 30 inches deep. So off you go, Nick.
You could use a hose, obviously. This will just help flush the panel with rinseless wash.
So the iron remover requires that you rinse it off. Now you can just go ahead and dry it, but ideally you'll rinse it off.
The reason I'm being extra thorough, Ivan, is when you're dealing with no hose and you're using iron remover, you just want to make sure the iron remover gets off the paint. So I have a tendency, for all those who know us here at DIY Detail, to overuse product.
Right.
And, I do my best. But anyway, we're trying to flush the panel of iron remover, and I think we've done that. If you have a hose, you know how to use those.
Yeah. Those fingerprints are all gone. We have no contamination on the panel, and it actually brightened up the stainless steel a little bit. So when you see the difference between the two, we have a better color here, less streaking, and it actually is a smoother panel because we don't have that contamination on it. With my rubber glove or nitrile glove here, it just slides across this panel, and when I get to this one, it actually grabs.
Ivan, for folks who are used to looking at paint,
Right.
they're gonna start to see things in the stainless steel that are gonna play tricks on them, right? Like,
Right.
that ghosting wasn't an optical illusion. It was strange. I'm like, why do we see that still on the surface?
Right.
It is gone now, but there's like waves and so many, like, this is not what I'm used to seeing when I'm a car detailer.
Exactly, no. This is a new experience, not only for the people on the road, the people owning these, but also specifically for detailers. Because how do we go about detailing this? Now, we're gonna be putting a ceramic coating over the whole truck. And you still see a few white marks from the drying towel. Eventually, it's gonna evaporate away. So Nick, I'm gonna trade towels with you here.
There you go.
I want you to feel the surface. So the next step before we do a coating is panel prep. And panel prep is actually a great cleaner for this vehicle. A lot of people online are saying, use a glass cleaner to clean your car. They're just out here spraying glass cleaner and washing the car. Yeah, use rinse and wash. But if you're worried about the little streaking that, you really have to look for it, but it is there a little bit. And the final step before coating anyways is using panel prep. So I'm putting a good amount on my towel here. And then Nick, you're just gonna follow along with that red towel. And we wanna wipe it off before it dries.
So before that flashing happens, whatever you want to describe it as. You do not want to spray panel prep directly on any kind of surface.
Yeah.
We always recommend Cybertruck or no. Put it right on the towel.
Yeah, and when it's on the towel, you're getting an even coverage. And the reason we're trying to wipe it off before it evaporates 100% is any oils or anything that could be there, we're floating them off the surface.
Okay, that brightened the panel up.
Right, so now we have a nice bright panel and it's good to go. Right now we could ceramic coat this, and we have a metal specific ceramic coating. If you have raw metal, be it stainless steel, be it aluminum, brass, anything that is raw unprotected metal like this, our ceramic coating works spectacularly for it. So we're gonna go through, clean the rest of the vehicle, decontaminate it, get it ready for the ceramic coating, and then we'll show you the ceramic coating. Now we mentioned variances in the stainless steel. This is one of them. We can actually see a semicircle here, and we can probably guess that they used a 6-inch palm sander or DA to do this. So the grain pattern is different here than on the rest of the panel. That is something as a detailer you can't fix, you can't remove. Don't try to polish it, don't try to sand over this. Don't worry about it. This is part of the charm of this truck. Another thing you'll notice, these stripes here. So we can see the stripe here, we can see the stripe there. Those are part of it. This is, they used once again, a dual action sander to get a grain on this, because if it were flat stainless, you would see all the things. This is the same idea as having orange peel on your car. When you have orange peel on your car, it hides things, and that grain is hiding some of these things, but it's not hiding it quite enough because they didn't get the grain evenly. If they would have used a 24-inch random orbital sander over this, then yeah, they would have got a nice smooth surface, but very difficult to do. Nonetheless, that's part of, once again, the Cybertruck patina. Live with it, enjoy it, it's your Cybertruck. With the ceramic coating, that's gonna reduce the look of this a little bit because we're gonna be adding just a touch of gloss, and that touch of gloss is going to make sure that this is less apparent. So Nick, show and tell is done. Start at the front, work our way back. The roof is all glass. We don't need to worry about the roof, and from here in, we have the tonneau cover, we have glass. We don't need to worry about that. We're just doing the front, the back, and the sides. And the front on this has an accumulation of insects. So I'm just gonna pre-spray with the rinse and wash on the insects. We're gonna pre-spray the whole vehicle for that matter. Go around and wash it, decontaminate it, and dry it.
Question, could you lather this whole thing up with a bath of incredible suds?
Definitely. Nothing wrong with doing that at all. Now you notice the wheels are different than the Cybertrucks you've seen on social media and on TV and all that. They're actually the same wheels, but Tesla puts a cover over these, and the cover has been recalled. There's a safety recall on the cover, so the owner had to remove the covers there. And the factory wheels underneath Personally, I think they look better than the covers. The wheels and tires, there's nothing different than what you've seen us do many hundreds of times before. So we're gonna be treating those a little later off camera, because right now you're interested in what's different about the Cybertruck.
This is the biggest windshield I've ever seen, Ivan.
It is a rather large piece of automotive glass.
This wiper blade is ridiculous.
Well, that wiper blade is in part responsible for having the 48-volt architecture in here, because if we had a 12-volt motor, the amperage that it draws would have been crazy. You would have had 2-watt size wires going to the motor. Stepping it up to 48 volts helps with that. Now, Nick has washed this section. I'm going to use iron remover like we normally do. One spray on the towel, one spray on the panel, and start decontaminating.
Boy, the lines are so severe. The sharpness of this vehicle in person, is pretty fascinating. I'm just sort of taking it all in, guys.
Yeah, this is Nick's first time seeing a Cybertruck, so he's, as we say in French, émerveillé. You're beyond words. Yeah, there's so many ways of saying it in French. In English, you're spellbound. And getting the iron remover nice, evenly distributed on the surface, doing its thing, breaking down that little bit of contamination that's on here. And while I'm at it, like we always do, get the windows, making them easier to clean the next time. And if it does dry on the panel and you get a bit of streaking, nothing to freak out about.
Always a good idea with the pressure washer. Spray towards the ground at first, just to make sure your tip's on securely.
Yeah, they say you can hit this with a hammer and not damage it, but I'd rather not try.
I'm not trying to test that today.
And Nick, if we take a look at the ground, look at all that red. Now, one question I was asked, can I dry this with a leaf blower? Yes, you can. Should you is the other question. Probably not, because of the slight texture in the stainless, if you're drying with a leaf blower, you're gonna end up with mineral deposits all over this thing.
We had someone today reach out, a detailer, say, can I use a wool pad in your polish on this Cybertruck? And I was like, no, only on the glass, and that would be a yellow foam pad, right? Yeah. Foam pad, not a wool, and certainly not on the stainless steel.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be touching the stainless steel with a polisher. You don't want to be touching it with anything that's abrasive. You don't want to be touching it with a clay bar. We're using the perforated synthetic decontamination towel. That works beautifully on this. But a clay bar, it's an abrasive. Nothing abrasive on this vehicle. Nick, let's wash the other side.
Okay.
And then we'll be ceramic coating it. First thing we're doing is panel prep, and you'll notice that the towel is nice and clean now, and we've washed this, we've decontaminated, but the stainless steel always follows through, leaving a bit of black on the towel. And we want to do the panel prep step several times until we're not getting any black on our towel.
And I'm following you immediately. You're lifting whatever's on the surface, it's floating, and I'm just trying to wipe it away. Why am I going so quickly, Ivan? That's been a big sticking point for you.
Right, because we don't want what's being lifted off the surface to be redeposited on the surface.
And do we see black on the towel?
Yeah, we see this corner's a little darker than the rest. Let me grab a dry towel. So once again, panel prep on the surface. And we want to do this before it dries. And we're almost there, just a little bit of darkness on the panel. So give it one more side of this towel. So yes, you will go through a number of towels doing this, but the result is definitely worth it. Towel has come up clean, meaning we're ready to coat. And it keeps going down on us, but let's put it back up. Now the panel prep really evens out the look of the panel as well, and it actually shows us a few things. So those sanding marks that we mentioned before, now they're uneven because the panel isn't perfectly flat. It has a bit of undulation to it, and where they went over it with the sander, there's a shiny spot here. That's because the sander didn't hit it as much as the other areas because of the undulations.
Yeah, nothing escapes the LaCroix eyes.
No, but it's something that you need not worry about. It's something you can't change. So I'm using the metal ceramic coating, and I'm using a lot more than we normally use. Now, one thing I saw online that someone mentioned was that you should never use a ceramic coating on these because the ceramic particles will scratch the stainless steel. I don't know where that one comes from, but that's definitely not the truth. There's no, chunks of ceramic in here. And being a ceramic coating designed for metal, the cross-linking time is very, very long. We're talking at least 5 minutes before you start leveling this. And I'm putting it on way thicker than I would an automotive ceramic coating or a paint ceramic coating.
With our paint ceramic coating, that's 10 to 12 drops on the applicator to prime it.
Yeah.
And then maybe 1 or 2 in subsequent panels. I mean, it seems like this substrate is thirsty, Ivan.
It is, because of the texture, first of all, and a metal ceramic coating works a little differently than a ceramic coating for paint. The solvents that are in it are very, very slow to allow the ceramic coating to penetrate deeply into the pores of the stainless steel. Now, stainless steel is porous. People think it's this perfectly smooth surface. Look at it under a microscope, it's a sponge. And what we're doing here is filling the pores of that sponge. And if we look very closely, we will see a little more shine, and the smoothness of the panel when we touch it is a lot better. That's why you're getting so many marks from fingerprints, because that sponge is absorbing your body oils and holding it there, and you have to deep dive into that sponge to get those oils out.
That's fascinating.
And we've got at least another 3 or 4 minutes. We start to see the rainbow effect, and normally when we're detailing a car, that rainbow effect is very quick, especially with the humidity we have in here today. Without that humidity, it could be at least 5-10 minutes before you start wiping on this.
How do you know when it's time?
When we look at it. So if do we start seeing it somewhere? So you can just barely make out a bit of rainbowing. It basically starts to look like it's drying. And I apply it in a circular motion so we have a very even coverage. If you're doing back and forth motions, this is one vehicle. I normally say do whatever motion you want. If you want to do circles, triangles, whatever geometric shape is your fancy that day, great. In this case, circular motions, because the circular motions really put the ceramic coating down evenly. And this is going to cure evenly. And we'll see that once it's cured, we will have very much an even surface, but that will look swirled. It'll look like this pattern that I use to apply. Leveling the frunk. Now this coating has been on here a good 12 minutes, 12, 13 minutes, and it's leveling beautifully now. So no need to be in a rush to level this coating. And it's gonna be initially a little grabby. Not quite where you're used to feeling with a DIY detail coating. And then your second towel levels it out, bringing it to a nice, smooth, protected shine. Super easy, you just have to watch what you're doing and be patient. Patience is a virtue, and you will be rewarded with great results.
Ivan, we've washed, we've decontaminated, but we're not done prepping the surface.
No, panel prep. Now, this is very, very important on the Cybertruck. A lot of detailers will use an isopropyl alcohol solution for panel prepping. That's passable on paint. On this, definitely not. We need more than just IPA. We also need some surfactants, which is what we have here. We actually have propanol and surfactants. And this is gonna deep clean the pores of the stainless, allowing them to accept the ceramic coating. Now, when we start this, I'm putting a good amount on my towel here.
You're putting panel prep on a short nap towel. We're gonna put links to these towels in the description below. Also, on the bottom left hand of your screen, there's gonna be a products tab.
Before it dries, we have to wipe it off. And the reason we're wiping off before it dries is the panel prep is floating the dirt to the surface and the oils and everything, and then we're taking them off. And you can't maybe get it on camera, but it's actually darkening this towel. The reason it's darkening the towel is there are still oils and stuff in the stainless steel. We might need to wipe this down several times before we say it's ready to coat.
And I am trying to get to this as it's flashing on the surface, because
Right.
it's floating it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to wipe it away.
And now you can definitely see the color on the towel.
Wow, that towel is darkening up. That might
Right.
freak somebody out who's never worked on stainless
Right.
steel before.
So flip the towel, go to the other side.
Do you like having someone right behind you wiping, or is this a one-person job?
It's actually very good as a two-person job. As a one-person job, you'd have to have damp towel in one hand, dry towel in the other. And look, already dark.
Wow.
And we need to keep doing this until we don't extract any darkness from the panel.
So is this a one-time thing, or would the stainless steel continually shed that?
The stainless steel will continue to shed it. It's part of the oxidation mechanism of stainless steel. And by us cleaning it like this and then putting the ceramic coating on it, we're gonna halt that oxidation. So off we go. Start in that back corner again and work our way forward.
Again.
Again, until I'm not getting any black on the towel, we're not done. Now you notice the evaporation rate's a little slower this time. And it'll continue getting slower every pass as we take those oils out of there. We're getting a bit of darkness, but a lot less than last time. So it'll be probably a 3-pass job. So let's find another clean side of the towel. And yes, you're gonna go through a number of short nap towels on this. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Now they can be laundered, don't worry about it. You're not throwing them away.
Ivan doesn't throw away towels around here.
And again, the evaporation rate has slowed down one more time because we're cleaning more and more of the pores out. Nick, more black.
More?
More, so keep going.
Really?
Let's find the other side of the towel and work our way along. And don't skimp this step. This is what's gonna make your ceramic coating bond or not bond.
No way.
Yeah.
So this is something that folks may not know they need to do this.
Right. Now it's not just one wipe and we're good. No, this isn't paint, people. This is stainless steel. It's a completely different animal than what we're used to coating. And your regular automotive ceramic coating will do absolutely nothing on stainless steel other than waste your money. Now we come up with a clean towel. So that panel is ready for ceramic coating.
And visually, the difference in these two panels is striking.
Yes.
Like, it looks like a different color. I don't know what you can see on camera, but this has been deeply cleaned. That's very clear to me.
Right, it's a brighter silver.
It really is.
Yeah, and once we got the coating on it, it's even better. So now, I know that my towel has a bit of black on it, but I'm gonna do the first pass here because there's no point. I know I'm gonna come up with a nice black towel, so. As predicted. And this is a great workout. Get your squats in for the day, people. How's it going, Nick?
It's good.
We have, I'd say, one more pass to do.
Yeah, it just brightens up the panel.
Every time. Because we're taking that blackness out of it. That black oxidation, that residue, we're taking it out. And we're gonna be replacing that with ceramic coating. 2 panels down, many more to go. Time for another towel. Off we go again. So one more, and that panel will be done. So flip my towel to a clean side. Towel came up clean. That means our panel is ready to coat. So when doing the panel prep, this is what your towel comes up looking like, and you don't stop until it comes up looking like this. You want all that residual oils and oxidation out of that panel. We have panel prepped this several times to get all the oxidation and all the milling oils out of the stainless steel. Now we're ready to apply the metal ceramic coating. Now, normally we will prime the pad with 10 or 12 drops and then just add 1 or 2 drops going forward. This stuff drinks up the coating. So we're gonna need to put it on rather thick, something we don't normally do around here. And the stainless just really drinks it in.
As far as we know, this is the first Cybertruck to get coated. So I'm guessing there's a lot of people who've never done this before.
Well, on the Cybertruck groups, you know, the people are specifically saying, my detailer said I can't coat this, or it can't be ceramic coated, it can't be PPF'd. The only thing you can do is wrap it or paint it. We're here to say otherwise. It's basically keep your applicator rather damp.
So you're okay laying it on heavy?
We have to, because the coating, or the stainless steel, is actually porous. And what we're doing is filling those pores, giving us a smooth surface to work with.
What can they expect, folks who get this coating on their Cybertruck? What kind of performance is it going to be different than our regular ceramic coatings?
No, from this point forward, it will behave almost like painted ceramic coating.
And it's slowing down the oxidation, right?
It's slowing down the oxidation. It's going to be much, much easier to clean. And those little fingerprints are not going to be as easy to get on here. Of course, you can always get fingerprints on it. If you have a stainless steel fridge at home, you know what I'm talking about.
But they're easier to get off.
Definitely.
And then what can folks expect in terms of longevity, and how should they maintain this?
So maintaining rinseless wash, once in a while the PSD towel with either the iron remover or a little bit of ceramic gloss will do a great job. Now you can use Incredible Suds, you can foam it on, you can do whatever you want. It's not allergic to water, don't worry. It's gonna get rained on.
And people are gonna put this through the paces, aren't they? Some wild Tesla owners.
Yeah.
They're gonna do truck stuff.
They are, it's designed to do that, so. If you miss a spot, it's very apparent. While I was coating up here, because the mirror is folded, I got a few little runs here. So we don't want to leave the runs, so I'm just gonna go back over them with the applicator. Nick, we're ready to wipe off. What we're looking for is that rainbow effect. And we have that rainbow effect that it's about 50% of the surface is covered with that rainbowy look. It's been roughly 10 minutes since I started applying the coating, and I was able to apply to the whole side. I'm not in a rush to do a panel and wipe off the panel, because I know I've got a good 5 minutes minimum, and it could be longer than that, depending on the humidity, depending on the temperature, and depending on how thick you put it on. And we want to put it on thick. This is the only time I will tell you to put a coating on thick. This is the coating to do it. This is a substrate to do it on. The metal coating has to go on relatively thick. And let's do a test back here. This is where we started. See if we're ready to level, and we are. So, Nick, grab a towel. I'm gonna do the initial level, and you can follow through with the other one.
This fluffier towel
Exactly.
is for the insurance wipe.
For the insurance wipe, and you are gonna be leveling just a little bit with that towel. Now, you'll notice my towel is bunching up. And the reason it's bunching up is the coating is actually a little grabby at this point.
So is that too early to wipe off?
No, it's gonna get grabbier as we go. And contrary to what we've told you in the past, apply some pressure.
The Cybertruck can take it?
The Cybertruck can take it, and the coating can take it as well. We need to apply a bit of pressure on this.
Oh wow, yeah. That's contrary to everything I've ever done.
Yep.
When it comes to automotive.
Well, this is contrary to anything that's been ever done automotive as well. No. There's a lot of new things on the Cybertruck, and there's a lot of old ideas coming back, like the stainless steel. We have the whole body coated. The stainless steel is done. Now it's time to do the tonneau cover. Tonneau cover is quite the piece on here, so we want to make sure we get it all coated. I'm using our 8-year ceramic coating, not the metal ceramic coating, because, well, guess what? This isn't raw metal.
And you've done this half already, Ivan, and I can see the difference.
Yeah. So it's going to darken it slightly. Make sure to work it in nice and even. And since this is a rather porous surface, we're gonna level it sooner than later. Being careful not to put any of this over the already coated areas.
Why use the 8-year coating, Ivan, versus our 5 or 3-year?
The 8-year has the best resistance when it comes to chemicals. And let's just say this is a prime real estate for bird droppings.
Oh yeah, it certainly is.
So overlapping a little bit, making sure I'm going past where I was before, and then grabbing the leveling towel. It should arrive any second now. Leveling towel, insurance wipe. Now the Cybertruck isn't as big as you think, but it's not small either. A lot of people have the impression that the Cybertruck is huge. It's not small, but if we put it beside, let's say, a Ford Raptor, it's small. Put it beside a Honda Civic, it's big. This will also give the powder coating that's on these aluminum pieces a very good protection. Powder coating is quite durable, but this will make it even better.
Ivan, what's the view like from up there?
Spectacular. Nick, mission accomplished.
Ivan, what did we learn today?
We learned that proper prep leads to perfect stainless, not paint. And that's what we've got here. We have a beautiful Cybertruck. Now it's slick. What we've done is the preparation process is super, super important, and not skipping any steps. The iron remover with the decontamination towel got a lot of that out. The paint prep is very important as well to make sure that we have all that coloration coming out and we have all that oxidation removed. Once that's done, coating goes on easily. Now the coating, you have to watch it. You're gonna wait at least a good 3 to 4 minutes depending on the humidity, and you want it to be a little stiff to level, but not just super easy that you're moving moisture around. You want to let the coating soak in.
What's worse, leveling too soon or waiting too long?
Leveling too soon. Now if you wait too long, just re-wet it a little bit with your applicator and level it off. So like we do a high spot on paint, same idea. One difference between this and our other coatings, it takes a little more elbow grease to level it off because of the texture of the material and the nature of the metal coating. So the metal coating is a little, let's say, juicier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to put the metal coating on glass or plastic, so that's why we did 8-year coating on those substrates.
Right, exactly. You just use it on the raw metal. That's what it's designed for. Now it can go on the plastics, it can go on the other areas, and it's going to work, but not as well as the 8-year ceramic.
As for the wheels, you could have washed those and sprayed some quick beads on there. You could have washed those, panel prep wiped, and then put the 8-year coating on as well.
Right.
We didn't do those in this video.
No, because the owner is waiting to get his new hubcaps to put back on.
Exactly.
So yeah, the hubcaps were recalled at the time of this filming, so that's why it has the raw Tesla wheels. Other than that, the surface is now slick to the touch. It's not grabby like it was. It's not going to leave fingerprints everywhere. Big bonus for anyone that owns a Cybertruck. You know what fingerprints are all about. And this is something for maintenance going forward. Let it be a week and then wash it with rinseless wash. It's going to be super easy to clean. Washing it with the rinseless wash and adding some ceramic gloss as a drying aid.
So if you have a Cybertruck that's coated or not coated, just know that you may have a difficult relationship ahead because this is stainless steel.
Right, and not necessarily a difficult relationship, but a different relationship. We have to take this for what it is. It is not paint. And stainless steel takes a bit of adaptation. First of all, those fingerprints, just get used to carrying a little bottle of our waterless wash with you and wiping them off once in a while. The other thing is, if you get a scratch in this, you're not going to be buffing it out. And regular washing is not going to scratch it. So that's a bonus. Stainless steel is very hard. But if you do get a key scratch or something, unfortunately you're stuck with it. There, I'm sure, will be ways in the future to regrain once we figure out what that graining pattern was. So we need to take a sheet of stainless steel, put it beside, and keep practicing till we get it looking the same. That being said, the whole truck isn't the same. There are variances. So if you're OCD and you have to have your paint perfect all the time, this probably isn't the best choice for you. or you can get it painted. Now, back in the 80s with the DeLorean, people got fed up with the stainless and painted it. So there's a lot of painted DeLoreans out there, and the reason is they got tired of dealing with stainless. But it adds patina, it adds charm, it's something different. So learn to live with that patina. The ceramic coating is gonna help you to clean it. It's gonna help reduce the aging of the stainless steel and getting more and more patina that you probably don't want. And if you want the full patina look on your Cybertruck, go all the way. The other thing is, this you can do before applying a wrap or PPF. It's going to make the removal of the wrap and the PPF so much easier. And if you get too much glue stuck in the pores of this, it's going to be very, very difficult to remove. And then you're going to be fighting that glue residue with chemicals that can stain the stainless steel. Now, staining stainless steel means if you have something very alkaline or very acidic, it can darken the stainless steel. Finally, we have one big cleaning tip for this, and that is our iron remover. The iron remover is essential in cleaning this. Now, we used it with the decontamination towel. If you're just doing a maintenance wash, or you're just wanting to do the inside of the door jambs, spray iron remover on a towel, put it on, remove it with a rinseless wash. Your towel is going to go red almost instantly because of all the accumulated iron. Once you've done that once with your new truck, it's going to be much easier to maintain going forward. But the iron remover, you don't want to spray it on the surface and just let it dwell like you do on paint. Again, it's not paint. But wiping it on, wiping it off is a great touch-up on these surfaces.
And you then want to wipe it with a rinseless dampened towel.
Yeah, rinseless.
And then a little spray of waterless wash or ceramic gloss maybe as your drying aid.
Exactly.
Or you can do rinseless wash and then just a dry towel.
Yeah, or rinseless wash and then the hose.
Yes.
Yeah, to flush the panel.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, it works well, and enjoy your Cybertruck. That's what detailing is all about. Yes, it's different. We need, as detailers and as Cybertruck owners, to learn new techniques. And new techniques is what we try to teach here. We have the luxury of having a Cybertruck and having, developed the techniques. We didn't just get the truck in and start working on it. We did some R&D to figure out what we needed to do, what was safe, what wasn't safe. Now we know. I just happen to deal with stainless steel a lot because my bus has 45 feet of stainless, 2 feet tall, going down the side of it, almost as much stainless as what we have here.
One of the great joys of ceramic coating a vehicle is polishing it first,
right,
which we didn't do here. If you want to learn more about polishing paint, I highly suggest you check out this video right now.